Okay, Dr. Robert Astad, Director of Choral Studies, California State University, Fullerton Department of Music. He has prepared courses for Esa-Pekka Salonen and the Los Angeles Philharmonic, Carl St. Clair and the Pacific Symphony Orchestra, Sir Andrew Davis and the Los Angeles Philharmonic, Nicholas McGuigan and the Philharmonia Baroque Orchestra, and Keith Lockhart with the Boston Pops Esplanade Orchestra, and even more. Dr. Astad is also the artistic director of the Long Beach Camerata Singers. He is assistant conductor of the Pacific Chorale and is in demand as an adjudicator and guest clinician. Rob?
Thank you all so much for having us here. I remember when OSHA started in 2000, and I was a doctoral student at USC at the time, and we were all so excited about the prospect of this wonderful, wonderful program, wonderful school. So I'm really grateful to be here, and I am a big admirer of all of your programs. California State University Fullerton is just that. It's a state university with a very strong College of the Arts. We offer programs, the music department, I represent the music department. We offer Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Music degrees in performance, in liberal arts, and in music education, in addition to Master of Arts degrees and Master of Music degrees, also in performance and in education. In addition, our musical theater department, our award-winning musical theater department offers MFAs and BAs and BMs in musical theater. We also have a wonderful visual arts program. Many of our students leave the visual arts program to go work right away, especially in computer animation and design. We're very proud of that aspect of our program. We're also thrilled to have our brand new Joseph A. Clays III Performing Arts Center. We too received a wonderful gift from a very generous alumnus of the university, and we decided, the faculty decided that what we really needed, and we did, was a state-of-the-art performing arts center. And so we're proud to have on our campus 7 theaters. One is an 800-seat concert hall, which is obviously my favorite place on campus, and it's a classroom for us. So we're the only ones that use it, and it's used for all of our student performances. Nobody performs in that hall unless they are invited by the faculty to perform there. We have wonderful performing ensembles, orchestras, chamber music. Of course, I'm a little partial to the choirs. We have a great choral program. I'm proud to be a part of that tradition. We tour all over the world, and we sing with lots of the orchestras, especially in Southern California. We just sang with the Hollywood Bowl Orchestra at Disney Hall, and we sing every year with the Pacific Symphony Orchestra, and go on tour. This summer I'm taking the students on tour to Italy. So, and our vocal programs also garner high results. Our students go to some of the very best conservatories, just like USC. We love to send students to USC. We love to send students to Juilliard, and in fact, right now, the young artist mezzo-soprano at San Francisco Opera is a recent graduate of our program, and we're very proud that she's there. So I'm proud to be a part of the faculty at Cal State Fullerton and part of that tradition. Thank you for having me here tonight.
Thanks. Next is Kathleen Testicle. She joined the Colburn School staff in 2002 and currently serves as Associate Dean for Admissions and Records for the Colburn School Conservatory of Music. She previously served as Director of Admissions at the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York, and Director of Admissions at Eastern Music Festival in Greensboro, North Carolina. Prior to beginning her work in admissions, Kathleen had a 15-year career as an orchestral violinist, which included positions in the Sinfonia Musical in Caracas, Venezuela, the Alabama Symphony in Birmingham, Alabama, and extensive freelancing across the southeastern United States. Kathleen?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. The Colburn School has 3 different divisions, and I think people get confused, so just to parse them out, we have a dance institute, we have a School of Performing Arts, and we have a Conservatory of Music. And the part that's the community school, which includes the dance, has existed for over 60 years. And there are students at Orange County High School for the Arts that go to Colburn for their lessons. They are in that part of the school. There are about 1,700 students in the community school division. The Conservatory of Music was only started in 2003, and it is limited in enrollment to a symphony orchestra and a piano department, which means it always has less than 120 students. So it's kind of the inverse of the colleagues from other schools up here, in that we're the most narrowly focused school, we are the tiniest school, and probably the most selective school, which means it's really hard to get in. The focus is on instrumental performance. There are no other majors. That is what everyone there does. And so it's kind of this conservatory in the sense of hothouse, where you're all in one space, everyone's doing the same thing. It's very, very intense, and if that's what you want, it's the perfect place for you. But you don't get to make friends at the same school with people who are film majors and pre-law and pre-medicine and things like that because of that narrow focus. So it's a very different kind of school, which is why it makes for a very nicely balanced panel, so we can cover a lot of ground for you tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathleen. Next and last, Daniel Alfred Wax, Director of Instrumental Studies and Conductor of the University Orchestras at Chapman University, Conservatory of Music. A dynamic conductor and pianist, he is increasingly recognized as one of the few musicians of his generation successfully balancing the demands of a busy conducting and solo career. Mr. Wax recently completed his tenure as assistant conductor of the National Orchestra of France under Kurt Mazur. While in Paris, Mr. Wax served as assistant conductor of the French premiere of Bernstein's Candide, which was a co-production with La Scala and the English National Opera, directed by Robert Carson. As a soloist, he has performed in such venues as the Viola Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall, Alice Tully Hall, the Tchaikovsky Hall in Moscow, the Sally Paderewski in the Lausanne, and at such festivals as Aspen, the Music Academy of the West, Tanglewood, and Verbier. Mr. Wax?
Thank you. Disclaimer, first of all, I must start off with I'm delighted to be here this evening with such a distinguished panel also. I'm just a conductor. So hopefully I'll be able to answer all the questions regarding admissions and recruitment and all of these things that, of course, you will have. But what I would like to impart with you more than anything is that Chapman University Conservatory of Music is a liberal arts university, of course, here in Orange County. The School of Music, as it was known up until 2 years ago, has been around for 80 years. But 2 years ago, there was an emphasis, there was a shift to conservatory. And of course, what do we mean by that? It's exactly what my colleagues were just saying, is that there's an emphasis now on performance. And we take that very, very seriously. We are also delighted to be part of the College of Performing Arts. In other words, we have art, theater, dance, and music housed in one home, very much like OSHA in that respect. So the cross-pollination is very, very important to us. We are what we like to call inclusive as opposed to exclusive. While the emphasis, of course, is on our majors, and we are only about 220, which includes vocal as well as instrumental, of course, a very well-known vocal program and a stunning opera program as well. Of course, I'm going to talk mostly about the instrumental program this evening. But we are only 220, but we also accept students from other parts of the university. In other words, if you're a film major as part of the Dodge School, or if you're in one of the professional schools, law, whatnot, and you still have a love of music, we welcome you to participate. We don't say you can't participate just because you're not necessarily in the conservatory. So, of course, I'm sure there'll be more questions that come up as we go on, but again, I'm delighted to be here, and hopefully I'll be able to answer something this evening.